We're gonna stand and shake things out just a little bit, team.
Welcome to Move Better 55 Plus. Hello, Judy. Okay, team. I hope the music isn't too loud, but I know some people are saying they can't hear it, so I'm putting it a little extra louder for our warm up. Is that okay, everyone? You can hear it? A little higher? No, we're good. Okay. So come to stand, we're gonna shake it up. Make sure your space where you're working today is clear of any debris. So stepping side to side, nice and easy. We're gonna think about directional changes so we can focus on our balance to start with while warming and getting the blood flowing. So shake it up. Start to listen to the beat of the music, maybe a little shoulder rolling for me, Heather. Woo. I know this is my fancy dance move. Although I could have been fancier the other night with Dana for dinner, huh? All right, let's do some heel days. Driving those heels out in front of you, extending your toes back towards your knees, maybe pushing, getting that pushing action with the arms, opposite arm, opposite leg. Woo. Now, if you're able, start reaching your arms overhead in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Up, up, so left arm out, right leg out. That's it. Back to march on the spot. Lift those knees up. This week in yoga, we focus on hip flexion. Don't have good, strong hip flexors, marching is virtually impossible. If you're able, a little bit of impact. If that causes any discomfort, just don't do it. Shake out those arms. Reach them side and overhead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to your march. Start moving forward towards the monitor. Let's give a high five. High 10. Walk backwards. Again, if you need the wall for some support, we're going to go forward and back a few more times. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Proud chest. Let's see that necklace. There we go. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Just getting that blood flow and turn the corners of your mouth up. Be grateful for this body and everything it's able to do for you today. There we go. Step jab, side to side. Tap, tap. Woo! Breathe in through the nose. Nice big deep exhale through your open mouth. That's it. There we go again. 5, 4, 3, going into our march. 2, and 1. Here we go. March. To the side. Lateral steps. Other side. Woo! Think about your core now. Can you gently pull it in, lifting your rib cage off of your pelvis. So we tend to sink when we get tired. Chest proud. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab yourself a quick sip of water. Gonna turn the music off for the rest of class. We're gonna focus on our strength today, specifically anti-rotational movements. And I might have mentioned in your email introduction to today's class that the reason we wanna focus on anti-rotational is one of the movements of the spine is rotation. Don't do it, just watch, right? So the spine is vertical, it rotates on its axis, one of the 5 movements of the spine. And when we're living with low bone density, we can twist, yes. We just don't want to go in our full range of motion, right? So if you're able to twist your body this much, right? My hips are kind of facing forward, my shoulders are rotating back. That's my end range. We might want to think about if we need to move in a twisting action, we do it mindfully and maybe a little slowly, right? As opposed to whipping ourselves around. So when you're walking down the street, someone say, "Hey, Dina," and you go, "Whoa." We want to try and minimize that. So in lieu of twisting, we're focusing on anti-rotation, which means our shoulders and our hips are going to face the same direction, which requires some stability in through the core. So we're going to start today on quadruped. And if you don't work on all fours, remember you can simply hinge at your hip place your hands at the seat of the chair. So 4-point kneeling, Elizabeth. Yeah. Same with you, Judy. And again, you can put your hands on a wall. You can put your hands on a seat of a chair. I'm just going to make you guys nice and big. Well, there is a lot of ruckus outside. I'm going to have to close the windows. Is there a city in the world where there is no construction? I think I want to move there. So 4-point kneeling, if you need to pad your knees, if you want to elevate your wrists, right? So if you have wrist sensitivities, or you can come up onto your fists. From the 4-point kneeling, I want you to softly bend both elbows and then push your hands into the floor, like you're trying to drive your palms into the floor or the basement if you're living in a house. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep our hands active. I want you to spread your fingers as much as you can. And without bending your elbows, you're going to let your chest soften in between your arms by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Okay, so we're retracting our shoulder blades, and then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to push, push, push with all our might so we feel slightly broader in the upper back. So without cat-cowing, there's no cat-cow in this. This movement is from those blades, those shoulder blades on your back, moving your rhomboids and some of your trapezius muscles, among other things. We're going to let our chest from this angle sink and push away. Let me see how that looks, team. Thinking about the tops of the shoulders, please, making sure they're drawing down your back. So if your shoulder blades are moving towards your hip pocket as opposed to your ears. That's it, Dita. Good. Straighten those elbows 100%, Dana. Yeah. So watch the spinal movement that's occurring there, Claudia. There's a little bit of rounding at the top. So like try to keep your tummy engaged a little bit, team. Just like when you were standing and marching. Yeah, better. Good. Let's see, Victoria, rather. Good. Perfect. One more time. Nice, Susan. Good. If you want to come off, if your wrists are a little sensitive, you can come off of them and just give them a little bit of a shake. And then we go back into quadruped position. This time, the challenge will be we're going to lift one arm off of the mat, which means there's a tendency to shift the weight towards the supporting arm. So if I take one arm off, the tendency is to lean sideways into that supporting arm. So my request to you is to press strongly into the palms of the hands and try to keep a verticality, I don't know, is that a word? Verticality of the arm bones so that you don't shift, right? Imagine your back and your torso is like a tabletop, right? And there's some really yummy, I don't know, biscotti from Dina. And so right now we're going to extend one arm. I happen to have my left arm reaching overhead like somebody's got a cupcake and I'm trying to reach for it. Then I'm going to rotate my arm bone in the socket and take my arm up, back, and around. All the while, my chest is going to continue to face the floor. So 2 or 3 times up, back, and around in one direction. And again, if you prefer, you can put your hands on a wall and do the exact same thing. Okay, the goal, don't let your chest turn. That's anti-rotation. Yeah, and then change directions. So back, up, and around. Yeah, back, up, and around. So you can see what's limiting you here, right? That range of motion in the shoulder is really important. And so if we're unable to rotate that arm bone in the socket, tendency will be for us to twist our body to get the task done, right? To reach for something, extend our spine, twist our spine. Good. Come off of that and then shake the hands out, especially the hand that's been supporting you. And remember, if you need to transition to move and do this at a wall, I'm totally fine with that too. Other side now. So start with the elbow bend and then the push mechanic. So you're nice and stable. Core is involved in this, team. So think about me coming in to tickle your tummy, right? What would you do? You wouldn't just let everything just relax. You kind of tense up in through the abdominals. Other arm up, back, and around. You may notice, especially if you had someone record you doing this, that the range of motion in one arm is different than the other. And that's completely normal because you are living in a human body. That's it. Now change directions for me, Maureen. Back, up, and around. That's it. It's like you're swimming the Atlantic Ocean if you're Susan. No, yeah, Atlantic? Yeah, I think I have it right. The Pacific's on the other side. Good. Nice job, everybody. Okay, and so to give your hands or wrists rather a break, you're going to widen both knees. Curl your toes under and start to reach your pelvis back behind you while you walk your hands away from your face. And then once you're there, first your fingers or palms are flat. Now I want you to karate chop the floor with your pinky fingers so that your palms face one another, and try to press down through the outer edges of your hands. And then just let your chin tuck in towards your chest, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. So actively pressing the arms down. And now just a little shimmy of the shoulders from side to side to get a nice delicious stretch in through the armpit and upper back. Extended child's pose. Anytime you do a child's pose in future yoga classes, you always want to think about those arms overhead to maintain that long spine, Ingrid. Yeah. Perfect. And then come on up. So again, some of us have difficulty lying on our belly because it's uncomfortable on our back. And if that's the case, I like to put the blanket, an elevated blanket, underneath my tummy towards a little bit of pelvis, but mostly low belly. And then from here, elbows will go directly underneath your shoulders. So this is like the end range, if you can imagine. So this is the most extreme extension I would want you to be in. If this causes any discomfort, remember your tummy is always engaged in this, okay? If this causes extreme uncomfortableness in your low back, then you're gonna move your elbows away from your head, right? Not behind your head. So that's gonna lessen the curvature in your low back. So this is spinal extension. Palms are going to be flat down, spread the fingers out. Let's add the elements of the legs being connected to the body, right? So sharpen the legs like you're pointing through your toes to engage the muscles. Right? Maybe the glutes are squeezing a little bit as the abdominals pull in. Good. And one final thing, can I add? Well, I'm gonna, so I didn't really need your permission, but it's okay. I'm just trying to be polite. Pull your abdominals in as you drag your elbows back and lift your breastbone. So you're trying to now engage the upper back muscles. So this would be like a postural exercise, pulling elbows back, lifting the breastbone. So it's like an isometric exercise as you're pressing elbows down and trying to pull them back. They're not really going to go anywhere because you have a sticky mat underneath you. And again, you can do this at a wall. Same, just, a little different. You're trying to pull elbows down and lift the breastbone. Look straight forward for me now. So like lift your neck, try to have that elongated neck. That's it. Pull your shoulders down, Judy. Same with you, Elizabeth. And making sure that the elbows aren't too wide, right? So we don't want the elbows outside of our shoulder. We want them underneath our shoulders. Good. And then come down, rest your forehead. Elbows wide, just shake your hips a little bit. You can relax here. That's allowed. And we'll do the cobra pose. So we're adding some yoga to move better today. Again, let's do it again. Again, pull abdomen in, sharpen the legs, gentle squeeze of the glutes as you pull the elbows back, lift the breastbone, open up. This should be work, right? This is not schlepping, hanging out here on your joints, right? We're pushing into the ground with the forearms, holding the elbows back as you're opening the front of the chest. The collarbones stay broad. Breathe here. Don't forget to breathe. Shoulders down the back. 3, 2, 1. Nice job, everybody. And then from here, just push yourself to your side. Bring your knees in towards your hips. Push yourself up. Whatever side you're on, it's fine. Okay, so you're going to stay on the floor. I'm just checking here. Okay, so from here, you're going to place your elbow maybe on your blanket. You can also do it on the floor. It doesn't really matter to me. So that your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Knees are forward of your hips, right? So if I was sitting like this, you could see my knees are in front of my hips, but my hips and my shoulders are stacked, right? Like I'm sitting in a chair. So sit in your chair, but sideways. Now, remember when you were on your forearms, I said, imagine you're pulling your elbows down. I want you to do the same thing with this elbow. I want you to try and pull it down towards your hip. We're going to stabilize that shoulder joint in the socket. And then maybe, only if you have no injury and you're feeling strong and connected, upper back is working here too. That's it, Heather. Lift your hips up. Good. For 3, 2, 1, and come down. So now, hold on. When you came up, did you lose the isometric pull down? So like you're trying to pull your forearm down into your hip pocket. So it's really active, and this is going to support all the muscles of your shoulder girdle. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. But think about keeping that isometric pull down, okay, throughout the movement. So oftentimes we'll kind of let it go and then just kind of hang out on that shoulder joint. Nothing good comes from hanging out on a joint. That's it. Push your hips forward, Dina, like you're opening through the front of the hips in like a bridge. For 3, 2, 1. Good. Starting to wake things up. Can you see at this point in time the connection between your core being strong and your glutes being strong simultaneously? Right? You kind of have to work together to create stability in your trunk. So if all you're ever doing is squeezing your belly, you're missing some strong muscles on the backside to stabilize your torso. One more time, come on, give it a try. So now that you have my secret recipe to a strong core is to engage your glutes. Here we go. Push down, pull and drag your elbow back, lift your chest, push your hips forward for 3, 2, 1, and release. And what I neglected to show was that you could, in fact, if you're unable to do this, my apologies, everybody, is you could do this from a wall, right? Same thing, you're driving your forearm down without it moving anywhere, okay? Other side. So now you know what to do. Now I can 100% undivided attention looking at you. Oh, what do I see? Okay. All right, so remember, start with the drag, most important. You do not even have to lift your hips, y'all. That is like optional. You're still doing something really great. Your chest is stable, shoulders, hips facing forward. If you want to, lift your hips and do a count of 3, 2, 1, and go. Push your hips forward, Claudette, forward, forward. Yes, there's your side plank. Yes. So what we're aiming to do, come back down. If I'm doing this from the side, so I'm sitting on the ground, my hip is on the floor, and I lift up on my forearm, I also want to push my hips forward so that the line between my shoulders and my knees is 180 degrees. That's the aim. That's the challenge. Go again. Let's go, Karen. Let's go, Judy. Good. 3, push your hips forward, Karen, a little bit more. Squeeze through the glutes. Hi, Deanne. 3, 2, 1. I think I forgot to send you individually this morning. I'm so sorry. 3, 2, 1. Come down. So you've done 3 on one side. If you haven't done the third one on this side, finish that up now, and then lying on your back. So this is all to wake up the primary muscles that are required to create anti-rotation, to create stability, right? So with your feet on the floor, I want you to lift just your toes right now. Just your toes, Dina. That's not just your toes. That's right. So just your toes. You have 10 of them, hopefully, although I've had students with less than. It's not funny. It was an accident at work, but anyways, he was an engineer. Long story. Anyways, it didn't happen in class. He did not lose a digit in class. The reason I want you to lift all 10 toes is because we have to think of foundational work, and that's in and through our feet. So find your mound of your big toe, spread from your big toe to the mound of your pinky toe, and drive the center of your heel down. And you might even feel like a suctioning of the arches, maybe, I don't know, you have to try. And now lift up. Don't put your toes down. And then come back down. So give me about 8 to 10 of those. Go. Yeah. Try to keep your toes off throughout. And Dina, I would maybe bring my heels back a little bit more. Same with you, Claudette. Like a couple of inches. Let's see, Elizabeth. Hips up. Hips up. There we go. Now, you see how some of you are pushing the weight back into your shoulders when you lift up? Come back down. So a way to avoid that is that same isometric drag. Okay, so when we were doing it on our forearms, I said, imagine pulling your elbows down, but the mat is stopping you from going anywhere. When I said on your side plank, I said, imagine drawing your elbow down or your forearm down. Now, imagine dragging your feet back towards your head, Maureen, but without your feet moving. So you're trying to pull them, but imagine, soprano time, the Sopranos, and there's concrete involved. I don't know. Your feet are in concrete. You're pulling them back. Watch the elevation underneath your head, Heather, because that causes a flexion in through your spine. Yeah. So try to pull your feet back. Now you might cramp, and you're welcome. There we go. Do you see the hands starting to clench, Dina? She's like, this is hard work. 8 to 10. And you're done. Tuck your knees into your chest when you're complete. Now we have work to do. Roughly 15 minutes, but with the break, it's going to be more like 20, 25. So we got a lot of work to do. Tuck your knees into your chest because that's one of the safest ways on your back is to get a little bit of spinal flexion in a safe, least loaded position. And then when you're done, I feel like I'm talking too fast. Turn to your side and come back up. We're going to go through the exercises. This is just your opportunity to have a break, to have a seat, grab a beer. No, I'm kidding. No, it's way too early. And it's also not summer, so I don't drink beer unless it's summer and it's hot outside. So the first exercise is something called a farmer's carry. And what I want you to do is a single arm farmer's carry. There's different ways of approaching this. And this is where the heavy weight, the grocery bag, and it can be, if you don't have a heavy weight, think of a book bag, right? When you're redoing this class and you think, oh shoot, I wish I would have had my book bag, because you can stuff that puppy pretty good. And so the goal is shoulders and hips don't change. What is weight gonna try and do? Do this. So you have to use these side abdominal muscles to lift you up, and then you can proceed to walk around with that proud chest. So what we're going to do, just make sure you have, 2 or 3 steps. I have more than that. You don't need, you can walk from one end of the mat to the other. We will do 30 seconds on one side. Try not to do the monster shuffle. Okay. Try to be more robotic. So you're going to think about tight abdominals. Your glutes are pushing you off, and that armpit is tight to your body. Please, for the love of God, we do not swing our grocery bags like this when we walk, do we? I hope not. That's a recipe for disaster. So armpit tight, legal document, the golden ticket, whatever, underneath your armpit. We'll do 30 seconds on one side, then 30 seconds on the other. Put that down. Shake it up. Put your left foot in. You put your left foot. Sorry. Somebody's silly today. Too much caffeine. Medium weight, which could mean light for you if you have a shoulder injury. In fact, you could do this with a book and a box of tissues if you're struggling with range of motion. So watch the movement first, please. So the movement is as follows. I'm going to call this around the world. I know it's like there's many different names for this, but my head is the world. I don't have an ego. And I'm going to go up and around. Watch, watch, watch. Gosh, you guys are keen. Ear, back of head, other ear, in front. So the movement is one direction. Hit with my mic. The other direction. What we are trying to do is minimize this. So you need those glutes on. You need your core pulled in. That's it, Judy. Pain-free is the word. So if a weight causes pain, you're going to transition and just use a box of tissue, right? And if that doesn't work for any number of reasons, my folks are doing bicep curls with one medium weight, okay? But I'm pretty sure even without weight, we might get something, right? Like even like just trying to initiate movement, right? Stability. Okay, exercise number 2. This next one might be a little confusing, but those same isometric movements that we did at the beginning are kind of present. It's like when muscles contract, but nothing moves. That's what an isometric is, okay? From this angle, I'm going to come into a dead bug position. The options are feet are going to be on the ground, right? So we can go from this right arm, right leg pushing into each other. This other leg is the mover. This other arm is the mover. So right arm, right leg pressing, doot, doot, okay? If that causes low back pain, because that's like an advanced version, you're doing something like this. Your foot is gonna stay on the ground, but the mover, the challenge for your stability will be your arm, but keep that foot on the ground. So again, one arm, one leg, same side, is pushing into each other. So those hip flexors, those quadriceps, the core is working. The other limb is moving up and behind as much as you comfortably can. Keep that spine on the ground, right? We're not flattening it. We're not arching it. We're just keeping neutral. And then for my folk who are maybe feeling it today, it's going to do this, but you're going to alternate, okay? So one arm, the other. How does that look here? It's going to be one arm, a little slower, the other. Okay. One arm, the other. Are there any questions about that? No? Okay. So it's like a dead bug variation with an isometric hold. Supported side planks, either a side plank at the wall, just like we did, right? You can do this. We're going to do 30-second hold one side. Now, for my folk who are down here, we're going to extend the top leg. Okay. You can try it with me and or watch first. I'm going to lift up. You're welcome to. So I want to give options because I have so many different fitness levels here. To stay here as long as you're feeling supported and stable for 30 seconds, or you're going to go up and down, up and down. So I would prefer probably err on the side of caution with the hip lift and the hip down because this is a lot of load, but the whole time you're pulling down, right? Otherwise you're doing the wall variation. Same thing here. Top leg extends, pull down, lower. So what's pulling down my forearm? Up and down. Okay. Final move is a doozy, y'all. I'm going to show it in different ways. So you can try the variations. Take a moment while I'm getting transitioned on. This one, I'm going to give 2 variations. The first variation is going to be at a wall in a plank position. So if I'm going to make this challenging and I'm not down on the floor with a weight, I would love your feet to be behind your shoulders and you're going to create that long line, which means bum, tummy, right, Marion? And what you're going to do is basically touch. So from here, I'm going to touch this underneath this wrist, go back to plank. Touch this wrist, go back to plank. So underneath, I'm just going to drag my hand across the wall, looking like something like this. Touch, touch. But again, watch for the shift. So plank at the wall, tap, 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 tap. Okay, option 1. Option 2, kneeling plank. Start with the weight underneath your right wrist. Take your left hand, drag it to the other side. Push into the opposite hand. Drag it. Remember, glutes, guts. Glutes and guts. Right? Side to side. And then my keeners, you could do the whole thing in a plank. Something for everybody. Take a moment, figure it out, ask the questions, and then we go. We got lots of work to do. Oh gosh. You okay, Dana? You're muted. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Don't make me come over there.
Sorry about that. Just very
That's
quick.
okay.
When we're lying on the ground doing that side plank,
Yes.
my hand keeps popping up. I'm trying to keep it down, but it's just popping right up. Am
Does
I
that
doing?
mind of its own? Dennis saying that her hand keeps popping up. Yeah, I mean, the pressure is going to be more towards the elbow for sure, right? But maybe don't drag down quite as aggressively. You do want to pull down, but like you don't want to pull down so that you're forcing all the weight into your elbow.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, ideally, the elbow is going to connect right into your lat here. So you should be hopefully feeling when you're dragging the elbow down, this muscle right here.
I am. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Anybody else before we get started? Remember, you're not doing this to a point of pain. I do not want to hear anybody say you hurt your shoulder, because if pain is an indicator that maybe the load is too much, your body is heavy. It's the heaviest thing you'll probably carry, right? So this is the weight of your body lessened. You're still getting good work. All right. Questions? So I prefer to do this with no music right now. This is like pretty serious work. Farmers carry, or do you want music? Anybody care? No. I'm not getting any signs. I can't hear. We'll see what happens. Let's just go. Farmers carry, 30 seconds. When I say switch, you switch hands, right? You know what? Let me put some music on. I didn't have any music picked out, but I will find something. Grab a sip of water. Check your screen, your space again for any tripping hazards. Have your weights on a chair. If you need a blanket, have your blanket nearby. Will this do? I think so. Can we hear that, team? Everybody dance. All right, have your weight. In 3, 2, 1. Don't clap your hands when you're holding your grocery bag. Shoulder back and down, chest proud. Again, try not to wiggle those hips side to side. 30 seconds will go by quickly. Keep those armpits tight to your body. Lift that chest. Show me that necklace, Maureen. Nice full breaths. That's it, Susan. Even if you want to challenge yourself or go backwards, you know, all the directions, sideways, we're just trying to move our body. 3, 2, 1, switch. Let's go, other side. Shoulders and hips continue to face the same direction. My left hand, that's the dominant hand for me. I'm a lefty. I'm sure you figured that out by now. Feeling strong on this side, but maybe you're not. A lot of us tend to go to our dominant side first because we're like, I got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put that weight down. Preferably on an elevated surface. Get your lighter load. Take it in front of your chest. Please don't do this sitting down. Feet underneath hips. Around the world. You are the universe, y'all. Again, remember your shoulders and hips face forward. So squeeze your glutes. Keep your tummy muscles engaged and resist the work of the weight, right? That weight is going to try and put your spine in all different directions. Your goal is to resist that. Let's go, Karen. Karen, that weight looks really light to me. I don't know, but I know. It's okay, yeah. But if it feels challenging, that's okay. You're just moving it around super easy. Good job, Deanne. Feet facing forward. Let's get good form. Let's see, Susan. Perfect. 3, 2, 1. We're going on the ground for our dead bug variation. All right, if you're not going on the ground, think about marching on the spot. Opposite arm, opposite leg is a viable option. I'll give you a moment to transition. I'm going to do the one where one foot stays on the ground, right? And I'm going to reach my left arm to the sky, right hand and right thigh stay connected. Left arm reaches back, come back to the center. and I switch. Left hand to left thigh, and I switch. Next round, I'll do the leg extension version. So you can start slow, and I'll show from different angles. Push your hand into your thigh. Your arm is the lever that's challenging your torso and the rotation. Remember, you're breathing and keep the back of your neck nice and long. Woo. This one's a challenging one for me to talk and do. You have 30 more seconds. So if you're doing the leg extension version with the arm reaching behind you, think about the lower your leg goes, the more challenging it is. That's it, Victoria. Nice job. Let's see, Karen. Yes, Karen R. Nice job. Way to go, Elizabeth. Dan. Core is tight. Three, two, one. Good job. Side plank. What variation are you choosing? I don't really care. I'm going to do this version. So stop your dead bug variation. Transition. Slowly take your time. There's no real rest at this point. The rest comes at the end. So if you're going to do a side plank at the wall, find a door, find a solid wall. And remember, guts and glutes. Guts and butts. Sunshine, Dawson Creek. You look like an angel there, Jackie. When you're ready, you can lift your hips. Extend that top leg to make it a little bit more challenging. If you post your bum, is it firm? Should be. Yes. Push the hips forward. And again, if you need to come up and down, you're going to come up and down. So whatever works best for you. I've given you a lot of options. All of them are challenging. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to turn around to the other side. Giving you, I don't know, is this the better view? Your bottom knee is forward of your hips. Your top leg is in line with your spine. You can lift and lower, but don't forget that forearm and elbow are dragging down towards your hip. Keeping your tummy tight. Keeping your glutes tight. Wall plank, you're just stationary in that wall plank. 5 more seconds. Let's go, Jackie. Let's go, Victoria. 3, 2, 1. All right, so remember our wall plank or a plank kneeling plank. If you're doing it at a wall, you're just tapping your hand underneath your opposite wrist, right? Otherwise, you're coming into a kneeling position with the weight underneath one wrist. Remember, in order to be in a plank, you have to push your hips forward, tight tummy, tight bum, and do the drag. This is definitively probably the most challenging anti-rotational exercise we will do in this class. Ooh. So you can do a variation of each. If kneeling gets too easy, that means you've gotten stronger. Nice job, Judy. So remember my shoulder folk, you can do this at a wall so it's less pressure. And Jackie, put your wrists underneath your shoulders. Yes. That's better. Yes, exactly. Ha. 3, 2, 1, time. Now you get a 90-second break. Yep, take a break. Any questions? I can turn the music down. That's round 1. You only have 3 rounds. So this will definitively help you in activities of daily living, right? If you think of when you reach your arms overhead, right? That's gonna not necessarily challenge the twist, but it'll challenge that spinal extension. So we gotta keep the glutes and the belly engaged. When you're reaching back, it'll make the muscles that support your back stronger, right? Which in turn will help your posture. It's like a chain reaction. Nothing works in isolation in your body, ever, ever. No such thing, despite what you might read. This exercise will fix. Just do it every day for 100 gears. All right, 30 more seconds. Make sure you stay hydrated. We're going into our farmer's carry. If your weight was not challenging enough, then please proceed accordingly. Weight needs to be relevant to make an impact. Okay, I'll just send you the version with the music, okay? Oh, God, grab that weight, team. Shoulders set, which means the weight is not pulling you down. So lift up out of the way, superhuman. That's you. Move. We gotta make this relevant. We all transfer our groceries, unless you have like a personal assistant who does that for you, which, wow, I need to become better friends with you. We all need to be able to do this, right? Got 10 more seconds. Carry our groceries safely. Now, ideally, do we want to split the weight equally and evenly? Sure. In 3, 2, 1, switch, but that's not life, is it? Right? Nothing's perfect in life. We certainly know that. So, tall. Try not to let the weight change your good posture. Jackie, that weight's looking really light to me. No, 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 you look too strong for that. 10 more seconds. Hot goes. La-dee-da-da-dee-da. Nice job, Marianne. 3, 2, 1. All right, your farmer's carry, second out of 3 rounds around the world with your moderate or light weight. Coming up. And we're not jumping right into the next exercise, but there's not necessarily a break, right? But we need a sip of water. Otherwise, you're joining me. Again, team, if you're not doing around the world, I want you to keep those shoulders on your back and offer yourself some exercise, right? So let's do some bicep curls. As we make those beautiful muscles nice and strong. Now this one focuses on the core stability, but also on your shoulder girdle, right? The more challenging the weight is, the more you're gonna feel the stability that's required in through your glutes and in through the belly. When the weight is too light, your body doesn't realize that there's a challenge. Yes? So challenge yourself. Watch the shoulders stay set on your back, right? So try not to lean side to side. Nice job, Claudette. 10 more seconds. Good. Butts. Guts. I learned that in parkour training. Need to use your butts. Always. Judy, you're looking fabulous. 3, 2, 1. Nice job, Heather. Put that weight down. So I'm going to walk you through the dead bug variation once again. I know it gets confusing. We get disoriented when we're on our back. So sideline. So I saw a lot of people doing this variation, right hand to right thigh. That means the left arm and left leg can reach away from center. Then you switch hands, left hand to left thigh, right arm, right leg. Right, you got that? Out, in. Good. Time started. Music is inappropriately slow. So I'm gonna switch that out. Take a moment here. Get yourself set up. The clock has started. Oh, here's a playlist, y'all. Team Boomerang. Please don't go with the beat of the music. It's too fast. Let's see you go, Susan. That's it. So remember to switch. Once one arm and one leg is moved back, then the other arm and the other leg. That's it. Switch sides is what I'm trying to say. Push, 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 Elizabeth. The more you push into your thigh, the more you're going to feel your core. Great job, Judy. That's one strong core. 10 more seconds. Jackie's got her fan out. I love it. 3, 2, 1. Claudette's in her basement, so hopefully it's nice and cool there. Supported side plank, which just means you have options. Dragging that elbow down engages the musculature in the chest and the top of the shoulder and your upper back, yes? So find what works best for you. I want you to keep that bottom knee on the floor, top leg is in line with the rest of your body, and then push your hips forward. Let's go. So up and down, or if you want to stay in that plank, you're welcome to. But that's quite a doozy. You need to come down. For those who are holding a 30-second plank, come down, reset. Yeehaw! Sweat's starting to come. And switch. You can turn around, you can flip. You've gotten enough to my backside, so I'm gonna switch. Set the elbow, set the shoulder. Chest is proud. You always want to think about that jewel necklace that you're trying to show off. I keep asking for an emerald, a birthstone. Never gotten one yet. Push those hips forward. Woo. Nice job, Dina. Let's go, Heather. 15 more seconds. You're either holding it at the wall, on the floor, or you're going up and down. In 3, 2, 1. Nice job, Judy. All right, final exercise is our dumbbell plank lateral drag, right? So, or you're at the wall and you're just touching. 2, 2, in a plank, guts and butts. Okay? Find what works best for you, team. You have to have ownership over your body and work with what works for you, not because your ego says you should be able to or you want to do something. Nothing good comes out of listening to your ego when you're working out. Now, Dina, think about your butt. Can you engage your butt muscles with your hips flexed? There you go. Shift your shoulders slightly forward, Dina. There you go. Push into the floor. Now you're in a plank. Yeah. So if you have a crease in your hip, you're kneeling. You're not planking, which is fine if it's intentional. Great job, Judy. Beautiful, Victoria. Come on, Ingrid and Vicky, let's go. Tummy in, Karen. Make sure your core is on. You're not just hanging out. In 5, 4, butt, Dana. 3, 2, 1. Come out of that. Take a moment. You have 90 seconds. So take 90 moments. Hips back. You only have one more round. You could do that. All right. Grab that sip of water, please. Stay hydrated. I put electrolytes in my water. Often when the class is really zippy, gives me a little bit more energy. I don't know, option, keep electrolyte, and good quality sea salt, put a pinch of sea salt in your water, okay? Most of us have sea salt nowadays, right? Still have another minute. You know what we could do in a minute? We could change the energy. Hoo-ha, come on. Get those hips moving. There's not a day that goes by that I don't dance. I hope you do the same. Okay, we're getting ready. Last round, farmer's carry. I'm gonna try and finish at 12. I have a lunch date. We'll see. They can wait. All right, last time. Let's do this, team. Grab your weight, your hinge, drag your feet into the floor and stand up. So, clock starts now. Let's go. Chest proud, shoulders back, armpit tight, all the things. If anything, I am very redundant, aren't I? If your arm is swinging around, your armpits aren't tight enough to your body, and there's a potential the weight is too light. Gosh, I just want to dance. This is bad. In 3, 2, 1, let's do the switch. Carefully switch the weight into the opposite hand. Reset that posture. Pull the shoulder black and down so you get the upper back muscles, your postural muscles working. Eyes on the horizon, not on your monitor. There's nothing to see here. You're doing great. I want you to really ask yourself when you redo this one, if you redo this one, was this really heavy for you? Try to stand up taller, Claudette. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Time. Around the world we go. Grab that weight. Feet hip width apart. All 10 toes facing forward. Butts on. Guts on. Let's go. Around the world once and then switch directions. Again, bicep curls for my folk who have range of motion issues currently. Know that this is not forever. And rehabilitation takes time, patience, and work. Right? You're doing good. Whew. This is the one, oh, that hurt my head. This is the one that makes me sweat the most. Right? You need a lot of stability for this one, team, especially if your weight is a little bit more challenging. I'm watching for the last 20. Nice job, Marion. Fantastic, Elizabeth. In 3, 2, 1. Your least favorite one is the dead bug variation. Transition safely. Mindfully. Ready? Support your head, neck, low back, whatever you need. Even if you don't get the full 60 seconds, that's okay. I'd rather you take the time to get your setup. I've started the clock now. You can join me, or you can go at your own pace. Remember that leg and arm, the lower they get to the floor, the more they're going to challenge your core, your stability. Your back muscles are working here too, team, yes? If not, then you're jamming your low back into the ground or arching your ribs to the ceiling, pushing that hands into the thigh. And again, you're welcome to keep one foot on the ground and just use your arm as the lever. I am showing both variations. Nice job. 15 more seconds, can you believe it? Doesn't it feel like you've been there for like ever? Nice job. Point those legs, make those muscles engaged in that extended leg. Don't just like reach it like a limp noodle.
That's it, Victoria.
3, 2, 1. Side plank, supported. Find your variation. Stand up. You're done. I need a buzzer in your back pocket. What time? You're done. 3, 2, 1. Pull the elbow back. Judy, we're done. We're in our side plank variation. So either at the wall or on the floor. I don't care which one you do. And if you need to sit and exercise out, did I forget to tell you you could if you were like not feeling it, you're tired, you didn't sleep last night, or your tummy's bothering you, right? Hips up, hips down. That top leg can be extended. It certainly makes it more challenging. Drive those hips up and forward. That's the only way you're gonna get your glutes engaged, right? 3, 2, 1. A switch to the sides. This is your last time. You'll have to tell me which was your least favorite exercise today. I love a good core workout. Remember that shoulder, set it. Elbow pulling back and down the whole time. Hips up and down, dynamic, or you can be statically holding your hips up. The choice is yours. That's it. You want to make it more challenging? Extend that top arm up to the ceiling. Nice job, Jackie. Good, Karen. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, now I'm gonna have a hard time focusing. Just like Mark Anthony. All right, planks, lateral drag, or plank at the wall, tap underneath your wrist. Opposite wrist, obviously. That would be cool. Magical if you could do same hand, same wrist. Here we go. Set up. Knees down, knees up. If you need to, you can be in 4-point, right? It's still more challenging than your wall plank, but I want you to think about your core engaged. Ideally, our hips are forward, shoulders over wrist. I'm not gonna watch you so I can dance. Can you get those hips forward, Claudia? Keep them there, yeah. Yep, take a rest if you need it, or move to the wall. Team, whatever works best for you. We don't want to cause harm to our body. You got it, Jackie. Take your hand and tap underneath the wrist that's on the wall. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, pull those pants up, Victoria. PG class. 2, 1. Come on up, come to stand. Nice job, Queen. Give yourself a round of applause. Woo! And just let's dance it out for a second, because the music's too good. And then we'll stretch. Okay? You did it. Strength training. Maybe it's your first time this week, or you've done your EMOM already, and you could be done for the week. Doesn't mean you don't move every day. You've just done the required 2, preferably 3, strength classes in a week. Let's see those guns. Yeah. All right, team. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, everybody. Please stay hydrated. Get a sip of water, please. You're not drinking coffee through a class, right? Please. Diana, please. Full screen. Okay. Come to stand, take one arm out in front of you, use the other hand to draw the wrist back. Just get a little bit of a stretch in through the elbow, in through the forearm, be a little bit into the bicep. Relax your shoulders. Why are you holding on to stress? I know, you read the headlines today with Doug Ford and his bike lanes. Honest to God, that man. Shh, don't talk politics in class. Okay, 3, 2, 1, switch sides. I'm just getting into bike riding, y'all. Now they're gonna take my bike lanes away. Thanks, Susan. Take care. Everybody, if you haven't had a look, Susan posted some incredible pictures on our Facebook group. 3, 2, 1. Please have a look. They're just exquisite. I hope Deborah, I don't know if anybody knows Deborah's in France right now. If they're friends with Deborah online, you can see her beautiful photos. All 10 toes facing forward, nice and proud posture. Make your arms stiff and long. And then reach those fingertips forward and try to raise them overhead without your spine or your hips doing anything. So you're gonna try and go as high up overhead as you can. Now imagine somebody's got you by your fingertips and they're pulling you up. Oh, so good. In yoga, we call this posture Urdhva Hastasana. If you care, I don't know if you do. We're doing a lot of yoga today. 3, I bet you thought you didn't like yoga. 3, Reach up, elbow straight. 2, get taller, taller, taller. And 1, let it go. We're coming down to the ground. This is where we're gonna finish. So please, if there's anything that you need to support yourself, you're going to grab that and make your way to the ground. Actually, don't need that right now. So have a seat at first. You can keep your legs 100% straight, or you can bend your knees. But what I do want you to do is kind of lift out of the waistline, just like when you were using the farmer's carry, the heavy weight, the weight was trying to drag that one waistline down. Gravity is going to try and do that here. So you want to think about lengthening through both sides of the rib cage here. You can turn your fingertips slightly back and then push the ground away to lift the breastbone. So really focusing on opening through the front of the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades in and down. Neck is in line with the spine. Good, so push down. I want that chest to get taller and lifted. Yes. Walk your hands farther behind, Dina, and lean back. So your spine is still straight. Yeah, and then you can push down and get an opening through the front of your chest. So from here, close your eyes. Take a big breath into your chest, into your belly. Exhale it out, open mouth. Again, fill up, fill up, fill up. Exhale. And one more time, big breath in. And exhale, come out of that, turn to your side and then back into our Sphinx pose, but a little bit more passively now. So from the side, we're gonna transition onto our belly. If you wanna put that blanket underneath your abdomen, you can. And I encourage you all to slide your elbows slightly forward so that you can get less extension in the spine, but more of a restful posture. So still think of pulling your elbows slightly back. If you want to bring them closer to being underneath your shoulders, that is fine too. It's definitely more supportive this way, but a lot more spine extension. So if you're here, you're not hanging out on your shoulder, right? Correct. So you're pushing down and then pulling your elbows back. Again, opportunities to breathe fully into the front of the belly. Think about lengthening from your pubic bone all the way to your collarbone. Pulling the elbow back, lifting the chest. 3, 2, 1. Stack your palms, rest your head, wiggle your hips. Let's do that one more time, team. So again, elbows under shoulders or slightly forward. Engage the shoulder muscles by pulling the elbows back. Right, lifting the breastbone. So there's the muscles in the back of your body are currently contracting, right? So that you can get an expansion and an extension in the front of the chest. Opportunities here to breathe fully. Inhale and exhale. And last breath, inhale. And exhale, stack your palms, wiggle your bum. Transition onto your back. So you can just roll over, flip over like a blueberry pancake. Oh, pancakes, I love pancakes. All right, so in this position, keep your knees bent. Hug one knee in towards your chest. Just take a moment here and just feel that stretch in through the back of that waistline into the glute. Sorry, I'm running a little late, team. Take your hands behind your thighs and then just straighten your leg as much as you possibly can. Once it's as straight as you can get it, I want you to push your leg into your interlaced fingers. So you're going to get that stretch in through the back of the knee, the back of the hamstring. If you drive your heel up to the sky, you can add a little bit of a stretch in through your calf here. Shoulders down, open chest. 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee. Let's do the same thing. We can't show favorites. Hug that one knee, opposite knee in towards your chest. Straighten your leg, interlace your fingers behind your thigh, closer towards your pelvis will make it more accessible. So if you put your hands way up here, it's just more challenging to keep that neutral posture. If your hands are closer to your pelvis, it's just more accessible. And then again, drive your heel upwards to the sky as you push your thigh into your fingers. So this is again another isometric, lots of those today. Good, and then bend your knee, release your legs, come into some sort of resting position. Anything that works for you, I like the knees resting in towards each other so the hip flexors have a break. And then turn your palms to the sky. Let's just take a couple of mindful breaths together. Lunch is going to be so sweet right now, yeah? You want to make sure after you do your strength work team that you're getting those protein drinks, protein in any kind of food that you're eating, in legumes or eggs or fish or chicken within the hour of doing any form of weight training. It helps to nourish those muscles so that they can grow, which is the name of the game. Take a couple of nice full breaths here. And then slowly, just gently open your eyes, turn to one side. Allow your head to be the last thing to come up, so keep that chin tucked in towards your chest, especially if you suffer from low blood pressure, like I do. And then the head is the last thing to come up so that you don't get dizzy. Take a moment and thank yourself for what you just did for you, right? This is self-care. It may not be the spa, didn't get a scalp massage, but you did the work yourself, which makes it even more special. So thank you so much, team. If you have any questions, today's homework is simply, what is the homework? Let me just go check. I forgot. 3 sets of 3 each day. So you're around the world. So every day you can put your moderate to light weight in the kitchen. You're going to go one direction, 2 direction, right? So that's 1. You're going to do it again. 1 direction, the opposite direction. That's 2 sets. 3 sets, 1 direction, the other direction, and then rest. Take a moment, and you're going to do that 2 more times each day. So for those of you who are unable to do around the world with loaded weight, think about just getting some mobility without any weight or a tissue box. And then again, the other option is just to keep the armpits close to the body. Do 3, well, you're going to do 6 bicep curls, take a break, 6 bicep curls, take a break, and then another 6, and that's it. So questions, I'm here for it, team. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thanks, Diane.